What's going on, everybody? My name is LB, the realist with Surrealistic Studios, Surreal News, where the real is surreal. I guess you guys can call me Surrealist too. LB the realist, aka Surrealist. I like the way that sounds. But anyways, uh, the Senate has just voted to move forward with negotiations on the new bipartisan infrastructure bill, totaling about $1 trillion. We got about $110 billion going to roads and bridges, $11 billion going to safety, $39 billion going to public transit, $66 billion going to passenger and freight rails, and $15 billion going to electric vehicle infrastructure, such as like charging stations. They also have more money going to water, broadband, and power grids. So it's going to be paid for apparently by using redirect unused COVID relief funds. So basically, we have this pool of money that we got for COVID-19 or the virus or whatever, and I guess we just can't find a purpose for it, So we got this pool of money that's sitting here that now we can use to pay for some of this infrastructure, apparently. Also, they're going to use unemployment insurance. I guess it's already out now, or it's about to run out very soon. They stopped paying me months ago. I've been pending and haven't had much luck there. All they would have to do is release it to me, but they haven't. So it is what it is. And also, targeted corporate user fees and strengthening tax enforcement on cryptocurrency. So targeted corporate user fees and strengthening tax enforcement on cryptocurrency. So more fees all around. Hopefully this doesn't mean exorbitant fees for the consumer overall, but this is what they're saying here. Yesterday I brought to you guys a story where Bernie Sanders had a sit down with Crystal Ball from Breaking Points and Crystal Collin Friends, and they talked about how Bernie talked about how he'll basically hold up the infrastructure bill if it did not include $3.5 trillion reconciliation package that tackles climate change. So I'll go ahead and read the story right here. This is gonna be from E&E Daily or eenews.net, and they go ahead and they give you more information about the whole situation in general, but about the climate change aspects of the reconciliation package. So it goes on to say Democratic leaders took care. Crazy cars. Democratic leaders took care to emphasize their commitment to climate legislation as bipartisan infrastructure legislation took a big step forward in the Senate yesterday. Still, some cracks started to appear in their plans for a separate climate-focused $3.5 trillion budget reconciliation bill. The massive spending package will be the vehicle for a host of policies to significantly reduce greenhouse gas emissions, but Democrats will need support from virtually every member of their caucus on both sides of Capitol Hill. Senator Kyrsten Sinema, a Democrat in Arizona, a moderate Democrat in Arizona, one of the Senate's key swing votes, said yesterday she would support efforts to move forward on a budget resolution, but has reservations about the $3.5 trillion top line. I also have made clear that while I will support beginning this process, I do not support a bill that costs $3.5 trillion. And in the coming months, I will work in good faith to develop this legislation with my colleagues and the administration to strengthen Arizona's economy and help Arizonans' everyday families get ahead, Sinema said in a statement yesterday, first reported by the Arizona Republic. Opposition from Sinema and other moderates could upset the delicate balance Democratic leadership is attempting to strike in the 50-50 Senate, but talks remain in the early stages, and the Arizona Democrats' comment does not immediately endanger the budget process. Once the Senate passes a budget resolution, committees will put together a reconciliation package that can skirt the Senate filibuster with support from every Democrat. Budget Chairman Bernie Sanders, an independent from Vermont, said he expects to have 50 votes to pass the resolution next week, with consideration of the reconciliation package likely coming in September. It's going to have to be a lot of work. It's going to have to be a lot of work to determine what's in the actual bill, Sanders told reporters. But at the end of the day, it is my judgment that it's going to be $3.5 trillion here in the Senate, maybe even more in the House. That's on top of the bipartisan infrastructure bill, which Sinema helped negotiate, that cleared the first Senate procedural vote last night. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, a Democrat in New York, reiterated his comment to climate his commitment to climate legislation yesterday, saying his party is united in taking on the climate crisis in the reconciliation package and in the bipartisan infrastructure bill moving forward in tandem. I will not pass an infrastructure package that does not reduce carbon pollution at a scale commensurate with the urgency of the climate crisis we face, plain and simple, Schumer said during an event with the League of Conservation Voters. That's what Democrats intend to do. Climate hawks were largely unconcerned with the new developments, citing the fluid nature of talks on Capitol Hill over the last few months. We're in a comfortable place. We have a diverse caucus. Some people want more spending, some people want less spending, Senator Brian Schatz, a Democrat in Hawaii, said yesterday when asked about Sinema's opposition to the top line number. That's completely part of the ongoing negotiation, and we'll get there. Senator Joe Manchin, a Democrat in West Virginia, another moderate member of the negotiating group, said yesterday he is very open, quote unquote, to the budget process, but wants to focus on the bipartisan bill first. This is the most important thing we do, Manchin said of the bipartisan measure. The reconciliation package, to many Democrats and environmentalists, is the best chance in a decade to make a significant dent in the U.S. greenhouse gas emissions. The Senate Budget Committee's initial $3.5 trillion agreement earlier this month included proposals for a clean electricity standard, a civilian climate corps, a clean energy accelerator, and a plethora of other climate policies. Democrats will have to resolve a smattering of policy questions in the coming months, including the role of natural gas in the clean energy standard, which aims to achieve 80% clean energy in the power sector by 2030. To complicate matters, House progressives are pushing for an even higher top-line spending number. In response to Sinema's comments, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Democrat of New York, yesterday raised the possibility that the entire effort could sink in the House. Good luck tanking your own party's investment on child care, climate action, and infrastructure while presuming you'll survive a 3-vote House margin, especially after choosing to exclude members of color from negotiations and calling that a bipartisan accomplishment, Ocasio-Cortez wrote on Twitter. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Democrat in California, nonetheless projected confidence that the reconciliation package would prevail on climate change. We're in a good place to reach the goals that have been set out, hopefully in reconciliation very soon, Pelosi said at the LCV event. Senator Martin Heinrich, a Democrat in New Mexico, similarly downplayed moderate opposition to the $3.5 trillion number. It will work out. A lot of posturing going on, he told E&E News yesterday. I think we're on track to get both of these done. There are a lot of details to work out. And again, that's going to be from E&E Daily. I'll go ahead and leave that down below if you guys want to read it for yourselves. And there we go, folks. So a lot of caving in to the moderate, because the moderate, of course, one moderate or a couple moderates are going to come out and throw a monkey wrench in the whole plans, because that's what moderates do, So, I'm hoping that the money that is being allocated for this infrastructure bill and for this reconciliation package, I'm hoping that it actually goes to what it's supposed to go to. I'm hoping that it's not like the COVID relief funds that apparently we've been sitting on this whole time, and they just can't seem to find a purpose for. They can't seem to allocate the funds that have already been given out. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't understand that. It just makes no sense at all. So again, they're taking money from unemployment, redirecting the unused COVID relief funds, again, that they were supposed to use for COVID relief, targeted corporate user fees, strengthening tax enforcement on cryptocurrency. Nothing about taxing the wealthiest 1%, nothing about... I guess just everything is just coming from the bottom going to the top. That's what it really seems like here. The unemployment insurance money, the COVID relief funds, targeted corporate user fees. I'm not sure exactly what they mean by that, or if they said targeted corporate user fees, but also strengthening tax enforcement on cryptocurrencies. So I know Bernie Sanders is not in complete agreement with how this infrastructure bill is going to be, how it's going to be paid for. But we all know that they seem to find the money when it comes to nonstop war, when it comes to wealth or tax breaks for the wealthiest Americans. They seem to find that money. They seem to find the money to give to every other country for their universal health care, for their weapons, for everything that they need. But when it comes to what the American people need, we always go through the same things over and over and over again. How are we going to pay for it? How are we going to pay for it? How are we going to pay for it? So again, they're working on this right now. They are continuing with negotiations. They hope to have this bill passed, the infrastructure bill, by next week. So leave me your thoughts in the comment section below on this subject right here. I can't think of any more reason than this right here to push for a third party. I mean, we have people on all aspects of this fighting for real change in this world. We have people in the Green Party. We got people, in peace and freedom. We got people building a third party. People still within the Democrat Party trying to push for real change. And honestly, I believe it takes all kinds. If this is what we're working with, if this is the system that we've inherited, outside of a violent revolution, I don't know what else we do besides, work within the system and then have an outside force that's working to break the system. Because if we have nothing but enemies within the system and they just work with each other, and we're on the outside just screaming outside of the building, but they got the doors locked and we're just screaming outside of the building, nothing's ever going to get done. We have to have people on the inside that are at least more like us on the outside. They're not going to be perfect. They're not going to be perfect. I'm not saying we should vote for corrupt politicians, but people like Nina Turner, people that we know are actually fighting for the real policies at the end of the day, that do agree with us more than moderate Democrats and stuff like that. I do think that we need to work with those people. Absolutely. And I'm going to do a story. One of the person that Nina Turner is going up against in Ohio, what's her name? Chantel Brown, is actually wrapped up in some controversy. So if you guys want to watch that video, I am going to be recording that right now. Leave me your thoughts again in the comment section below on this whole infrastructure package, concerning what's in it, concerning how the money will be allocated and all that jazz. Love, peace, and light, folks. Until next time, find all my information down below. Again, I'll leave this article down below, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. I'm out.